Good morning, everybody. Today we will start a new lesson, quality. This quality is written by John Galsworthy. John Galsworthy was an English novelist and playwright. Actually, John Galsworthy was an English novelist as well as playwright. Born into a wealthy family, Galsworthy trained to be a lawyer but ended up running his father's shipping business as well as writing novels and plays under a pseudonym. So, he was born in a wealthy family, and after that he wanted to be a lawyer, to be a trained lawyer, but ended up at the end he has to run up the business of the shipping business of his father, and as well as he wrote some novels and plays under the pseudonym. His notable works include the novel series The Forsyte Saga and its sequels, A Modern Comedy, and End of the Chapter. So, some of his notable novels or notable works is there. That is The Forsyte Saga, which is a novel series and its sequels. Then A Modern Comedy and End of the Chapters. These are the notable works of uh, John Galsworthy. His writing was characterized by a keen understanding of the working of upper class British society, as well as a recognition of how they couldn't keep up with the changing times. So, his writing was characterized, particularly, his writing was characterized by the keen understanding of the working of the upper class society, especially British society, as well as the recognition of how they couldn't keep up with the changing times. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1932. So he was also a recipient of Nobel Prize, and he has got that Nobel Prize in 1932. Quality appeared in the Inn of Tranquility, a collection of prose published in 1912. The present lesson, Quality, which was appeared in the Inn of Tranquility, which is a collection of prose, and that collection of prose published in 1912. This is a poignant, beautifully crafted story about small businesses in the time of large automated firms, about quality versus quantity. So this particular story is a poignant, and it is beautifully crafted about the small business in the time of large automated firms. ही जी प्रेझेंट स्टोरी आहे क्वालिटी क्वालिटी नावाची, ती क्वालिटी नावाची स्टोरी ब्युटिफुली क्राफ्ट केलेली आहे. आणि जेव्हा म्हणजे ज्याला म्हणू आपण ऑटोमेटेड फर्म्स जेव्हा अस्तित्वात येऊ लागल्या होत्या, तेव्हा छोट्या मोठ्या उद्योगांचं बद्दलचं वर्णन या स्टोरीमध्ये दिलेलं आहे. अबाउट क्वालिटी वर्सेस क्वांटिटी. सोबतच क्वालिटीचा बिझनेस लोक कसे सांभाळत होते आणि क्वांटिटीचा बिझनेस सांभाळून लोक कसे पुढे जात होते याचं वर्णन सुद्धा लेखकांनी याच्यामध्ये केलेलं आहे. अँड अबाउट डेडिकेशन टू वन्स क्राफ्ट, अँड इन दिस स्टोरी हाऊ दॅट shop owner has dedicated to show his own craft. Told simply, but with a great deal of care, it gives us a glimpse into the lives of craftsmen and their slowly eroding way of life. So, this particular story is told in a simple manner or simply, but great deal of care has been taken while telling this story up, and it also gives us a glimpse into a lives of craftsmen अँड दे आर स्लोली इरोडिंग वे ऑफ लाईफ. आणि सोबतच या स्टोरीमध्ये एक ग्लिम्स दिलेला आहे, म्हणजे क्राफ्ट्समॅनचं जीवन कसं होतं तेव्हाचं, आणि कशी त्यांचं जीवन खालावत चाललं होतं याबद्दलची झलक या स्टोरीमधून आपल्याला पाहायला मिळते. सो लेट्स बिगिन. I knew him from the days of my extreme youth because he made up my father's boots, inhabiting with his elder brother two little shops let into one in a small by street, now no more, but then most fashionably placed in the West End. So, according to the writer met with that person from his extreme youth. When he was in youth, from that time, the narrator used to meet him, because at that time he used to make the boots of my father, and he was living with his elder brother. Two little shops led into one, and both of them have different shop, but both of the shops led into one. And that shop was situated by street, but now that shop इज नो मोर. परंतु आता ते दुकान तिथं नाही. लेखक त्यांच्या ज्याला म्हणू आपण युथ पासून म्हणजे तारुण्यावस्थापासून ते त्या दुकानदाराला भेटत असायचे. तो दुकानदार त्यांच्या वडिलाचे म्हणजे लेखकांच्या वडिलांचे, नॅरेटरच्या वडिलांचे सुद्धा बूट्स बनवत असायचे. तो दुकानदार त्यांच्या मोठ्या भावाबरोबर राहायचा. दोन दुकानाचं एकच दुकान त्यांनी बनवलेलं होतं आणि रस्त्याच्या कडेला त्यांचं दुकान होतं. बट नाव दॅट शॉप इज नो मोर. परंतु आता ते दुकान अस्तित्वात नाही. बट देन मोस्ट फॅशनेबली प्लेस्ड इन द वेस्ट एंड. But at that time, that shop was most fashionably placed in the west end. म्हणजे पश्चिम दिशेला, पश्चिमेच्या टोकाला ते दुकान उभारलेलं होतं. That tenement had a certain quiet distinction. Tenement means simple house. That tenement had a certain quiet distinction. There was no sign upon its face that he made for any of the royal family. And both of them were living in a simple house, and there was no sign on his face, upon his face, that the shopkeeper had made those boots, those shoes for the royal family. म्हणजे तो जो शॉपकीपर होता, तो शॉपकीपर रॉयल फॅमिलीसाठी शूज बनवत असायचा, बूट्स बनवत असायचा. बट देअर वॉज नॉट अ सिम्पटम और वी कॅन से साइन ऑन हिज अपॉन हिज फेस. Merely his own German name was Jesler Brothers. So that shopkeeper's name was Jesler Brothers, and in the window a few pairs of boots, and in the window of that shop few pairs of boots kept in that window. I remember that it always troubled me to account for those unvarying boots in the window. And writer said that he remembered that it always troubled the narrator to account for those unvarying boots in the window. And those lacking variety boots made the narrator troublesome, for he made only what was ordered, because that shopkeeper was not making too much boots, but he was making only when he got the orders from his customer, and only then he made the shoes for his customers, only getting orders. Reaching nothing down, and it seemed so inconceivable that what he made could ever have failed to fit. And whatever shoes, whatever boots he made, means those boots could never failed to fit his customer. Had he bought them to put there, that too seemed inconceivable. And when he whenever bought those shoes and those shoes put there, that too seemed inconceivable. He would never have tolerated in his house leather on which he had not worked himself. Besides, they were too beautiful, the pair of pumps, so inexpressibly slim, the patent leathers. So whatever shoes, whatever boots he used to made, all those boots were looking great, were looking beautiful. The patent leathers with cloth tops. Patent leathers means standard leathers. He used to make the boots with the standard leathers with cloth tops, making water come into one's mouth while seeing towards those boots. Means one can or we can say there is a water comes in one's mouth. The tall brown riding boots with marvelous sooty glue. He also used to make the tall and brown color riding shoes, riding boots with marvelous black glue. So in this way, the shopkeeper used to make black shoes as if though new they had been worn 100 years. And once we bought such type of a boots, then we can wear that shoes for 100 of years. those pairs could only have been made by one who saw before him the soul of boot, and those pairs could only have been made by one who saw before him the soul of boot, and those pairs could only have been made by that shopkeeper who saw before him the soul of boot. Means that shopkeeper had made that type of a shoes, that type of a boots that can fitly or that can be fitted to his customers. So truly were the prototypes. Prototypes means standards, incarnating the very spirit of all foot gear. So in this way, that shopkeeper was making standards qualitative types of boot for his customers. These thoughts, of course, came to me later, though even when I was promoted to him. But writer said that these particular thoughts came into the mind of the writer when he was promoted to him at the age of perhaps 14, and when the writer was 14 years of age. From that time, narrator used to go to the shopkeeper for making his shoes, for making his boots. Some inkling haunted me. Inkling means hint. Some hint haunted me of the dignity of himself and brother, and the way the shopkeepers were making that book means because of that dignity of himself and his brother. Whatever he was making, he made all the boots with dignity. For to make boots, such boots as he made, seemed to me then and still seems to me mysterious and wonderful. So the way he and his brothers was he and his brothers were made boots, both means those boots were looking mysterious and wonderful in the past and at the present now. म्हणजे ते बूट्स मला तेव्हा सुद्धा तेवढेच आकर्षक आणि रहस्यात्मक वाटत असायचे, आणि आज सुद्धा मला ते बूट रहस्यात्मक आणि आकर्षक म्हणजे सरप्राइजिंग वाटतात. I remember well my shy remark one day while stretching out to him my youthful foot, "Isn't it awfully hard to do, Mr. Jesler?" So what happened? One day the narrator went into the shop of Mr. Jesler, and he remembered still the shy remark which the narrator was given to him, that while stretching out to him his youthful foot, and he asked Mr. Jesler that, "Isn't it awfully hard to do?" Means, isn't the skill of making boot is hard? म्हणजे खरोखर तुमची जी स्किल आहे बूट बनवण्याची ती कठीण नाही का? अँड हिज आन्सर, गिवन विथ अ सडन स्माइल फ्रॉम आउट ऑफ द sardonic means mocking redness of his beard, is an ardent means, isn't it awfully hard to do? Yes, it is really hard to do or hard to make that boots. Himself he was a little as if made from leather, with his yellow crinkly face and crinkly reddish hair and beard, and neat folds slanting down his cheeks to the corners of his mouth. Now narrator was giving the appearance, he was giving the detailed appearance of that shopkeeper. So he was saying that himself he was a little as if made from leather, with his yellow crinky face. So Mr. Jesler was looking, he was looking beautiful with his yellow crinkly face and crinkly reddish hair and beard. So he had crinkly face and wrinkled reddish hair and beard, आणि त्याचा चेहरा जो होता तो येलोइश चेहरा होता, आणि केस असे लाल रंगाचे केस, म्हणजे डोक्याचे केस आणि दाढीचे केस लाल रंगाचे होते. अँड नीट फोल्ड स्लॅन्टिंग डाऊन हिज चीक्स टू द कॉर्नर्स ऑफ हिज माउथ, अँड ऑल हिज cheeks were seeming just like the corners of his mouth. म्हणजे पूर्ण मास त्याचं चेहऱ्याजवळ जमा झालेला तोंडाजवळ असं वाटत होतं. अँड हिज guttural and one toned voice, guttural means harsh sound, He had harsh sound, for leather is a sardonic substance, and stiff means immobile, and slow of purpose. So he was saying that leather is a sardonic substance, and he was looking immobile and slow of purpose. So his movement was quite slow, and that was the character of his face. So in this way, the character of Mr. Jesler, the character of Mr. Jesler was something like this, that and that was the character of his face, save that his eyes which were gray blue. So his eyes were looking like a gray blue, had in them the simple gravity of one secretly possessed by the ideal, and he has the simple what we can say gravity in his nature, and he was ideal person, he was ideal person. His elder brother was so very like him, his elder brother was also looking like him, or his nature was also just like him, though watery, paler in every way, with a great industry, that sometimes in early days I was not quite sure of him until the interview was over. And when once the narrator met him, he was just narrating about his elder brother, means his elder brother is also looking like him, and his nature was also uh, just like his brother. Then I knew that it was he, if the words "I will ask my brother" had not been spoken, and that if they had, it was his elder brother. So both of them looking like both of them looking alike, दोघेही सारखेच दिसत असतात, both of them looking similar, and writer can recognize them only when the younger brother just utter a words, or say the words that "I will ask my brother" had not been spoken. Means if the younger brother had not spoken those words that "I will ask my brother", मी माझ्या भावाला विचारतो, असे शब्द जर उच्चारले नाही, तर that if they had, it was his elder brother. आणि तेव्हा जर असे शब्द त्याच्याकडून उच्चारले गेले नाही, तर लेखक असं समजतात की द पर्सन हु वॉज शोईंग बूट्स was the elder one or elder brother, and if those words were uttered by the younger brother, then writer can automatically understood that the younger brother was showing the boots to me. So I hope that you are getting it. When one grew old and wild and ran up bills means to keep buying the things without paying the bills. So when one grew old and wild and ran up bills, one somehow never ran them up with Jesler brothers. So writer was saying that when he was growing old at that time, he was buying the shoes from the Jesler brothers, and without paying bills, he used to buy the shoes. It would not have seemed becoming to go in there and stretch out one's foot to that blue iron spectacle glance, owing him for more than, say, two pairs, just the comfortable reassurance that one was still his client. So writer said that if he was unable to go there, and if he suddenly go there and wants to buy those books, then automatically those boots were definitely be fitted to the writer. So in this way, in this accurate way, both of the Jesler brothers making the shoes, making the boots of the leather. For it was not possible to go to him very often. His boots lasted terribly, and many times what happens, writer was unable to go to the Jesler brothers very often, but whatever boots he has bought from his shop, those boots were lasted terribly. म्हणजे ते जे बूट्स असायचे, ते बूट्स खूप दिवसापर्यंत म्हणजे टिकत असायचे, असं लेखकांना इथं सांगायचं आहे. हॅव्हिंग समथिंग बियॉन्ड द टेम्पररी, सम ॲज इट वेअर इसेन्स ऑफ बूट स्टिच्ड इनटू देम. Then further writer stated that having something beyond the temporary, some as it were, essence of boot stitched into them, means whatever essence, whatever skill of essence he has, means that skill of essence was stitched into those boots. One went in not as into most shops in the mood of please serve me and let me go, but restfully as one enters a church and sitting on the single wooden chair waited, for there was never anybody there. So writer was saying that when writer entered into the shop of those Jesler brothers, it seemed to the writer that he entered into a church. Means the atmosphere of that particular shop was just like when someone goes into their shop. At that time, Jesler brother often offer a chair, often give chairs to their customer. And in this way, writer said that when we enter into the shop of the Jesler brothers, it seemed that we enter into a church. Soon over the top edge of that sort of well, rather dark and smelling soothingly of leather. Soothingly means gently, or we can say calmly, shantapane. Soon over the top edge of that sort of well, rather dark and smelling soothingly of leather, which formed the shop, there would be seen his face or that of his elder brother peering down. So whenever someone goes into the shop of those Jesler brother, both of the brothers were just what we can say working on the boots, and elder brother who was peering down. A guttural sound and the tip top of bass sleepers means woody sleepers, beating the narrow wooden stairs, and he would stand before one without coat, a little bent in leather leather apron with sleeves turned black, blinking as if awakened for some dreams of boots, or like an owl surprised in daylight and annoyed at this interruption. So further writer stated that means their sound was a guttural sound, harsh sound. Both of the brothers have harsh sound, and the tip tap of bass slippers beating the narrow wooden stairs. And when they came down from the stairs, there was the tip tap of the bass slippers. आणि जेव्हा ते जिन्यावरून खाली येत असायचे तेव्हा त्यांच्या उडी स्लीपर्स मध्ये तर टिप टॅप असा साऊंड येत असायचा. सो इन दिस वे they were doing their duty. And I would say, how do you do, Mr. Jesler? Means, Mr. Jesler, how are you? आपण कसे आहात? Could you make me a pair of Russia leather boots? And writer used to ask him that, could you make me a pair of Russia leather boots? तुम्ही माझ्यासाठी लेदरचे रशियन शूज तुम्ही बनवाल का, रशियन बूट्स तुम्ही बनवाल का, असं लेखक असं नॅरेटर त्यांना विचारत असायचे. विदाउट अ वर्ड ही वुड लिव्ह मी रिटायरिंग वेन्स ही रिटायरिंग सॉरी without a word he would leave me, and without saying a single word to the writer he would leave the writer. आणि एकही शब्द न बोलता म्हणजे ते जे जेस्लर ब्रदर्स होते ते जेस्लर ब्रदर्स एकही शब्द न बोलता तिथून म्हणजे निघून जात असायचे. लेखकांना कुठलाही शब्द ते बोलत नसायचे आणि त्यांचं काम ते करत असायचे असं लेखक इथं म्हणतात. जस्ट अ मिनिट, let me admit some students. Okay, fine. So in this way they do their work. So here I would like to stop. Thank you very much for listening me patiently.